Well, we are right on time here. We're going to move into our first customer showcase. But Michelle is going to be presenting for all of you. She is an accountant at New Mexico Mutual. She's been there for 4 years. And her goal while she's been there has been to increase process efficiency. And so we're going to see how she does a little bit of that with Flexi Analysis. Michelle, if you're there.
Hello, I am here. Thanks.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my video as well as share my screen. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Just fine.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm demonstrating today is how New Mexico Mutual uses Flexi Analysis. Flexi Analysis is an extremely beneficial tool that provides real-time GL detail. So how we use it, our first example is going to be the expense budgets that we create each month, and we distribute this to management within the accounting department. And how this is done is, in New Mexico Mutual, we have 15 different departments, and each department has their own budgets. So Flexi Analysis essentially is a big pivot table. It's a giant pivot table of all the GL detail, and you create and tailor that pivot table the way you need it. For example, here with our expense budgets, we created it for each department in a way that we can send it to, for example, this is the finance department. This is sent to the management, and they can look at their actual to budgets for year to date as well as month to date. These tables here are linked to the Flexi Analysis here, and anytime we create a journal entry, we just have to refresh and it updates in real time. So this provides all the detail to management, and you could also drill down to look at this specific detail. So that's how that is used. This has saved us 16 to 32 hours each month from our previous process. And we love this, and we've received a lot of positive feedback from management. Another example is like our account reconciliations. We do several different reconciliations each month. And account recs, these used to take us a long time, maybe a day or so. And now it takes minutes, and we can update this throughout the month and make sure we're capturing each variances. And how this is done is we have our accounts linked to Flexi Analysis. And again, a pivot table that we made work for us. We have 10 different companies, so we have each one for each recon for each company. These are all linked to Flexi Analysis, and each month, all we have to do is update the row and the column within our VLOOKUP calculation, and it links to Flexi Analysis. And all we have to do is update the month, and that's it, along with the calculation, of course. And so we're able to capture variances throughout the month instead of waiting to drop the trial balance in at the end of each month or as things happen. And this helps with if there's any error, maybe somebody forgot to drop a trial balance, anything like that. It's a simple refresh button. This has saved a lot of time out of all of the accountants here at New Mexico Mutual. Another example here is how we prepare spreadsheets for our quarterly and annual statements. These are what we call our PNCSB spreadsheets. We use these to link assets, liabilities to our Flexi Analysis. And again, these are set up basically the same as the recon table, and we have everything linked to our grand total. And again, there's no dropping in a trial balance. Everything is linked. It's extremely efficient. Has cut down several hours a year. Sorry, not a year, a month. And our last example here is AP invoices. So Flexi Analysis does not only contain numbers, we also look at our vendors using Flexi Analysis. Here, we set up this pivot table to look at the vendors. And again, we have 10 companies, so we can look at several, like each company, O1 is our main parent company, New Mexico Mutual. So we can look at our year-to-date number of how much we have paid each vendor. We could also look at, each month, and we break this down into the sum of the invoices per month, as well as the invoice totals. So we can look to see how many invoices we've paid that month, and also AP spend by period. And these are the month numbers and how much we've spent. So this just puts it into a perspective for us. Are we paying more? It also all helps with budgeting. When the management has to create their budgets each year, they want to look to see, how much we're paying Deloitte or things like this. So this is extremely helpful with creating our 2021 budgets for management, and it puts it in an easier visually way to read it. So we really like Flexi Analysis. It has saved us a lot of time each month, and we continue to look for new ways to use it. But really, we're pretty big advocates.
Awesome. Michelle, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. We definitely wanted to leave some time here for people to ask questions as well. And we might have some, let's see. Okay, so Erica had a question for you. Oh, you can, okay, sure, no problem. I'll read it to you. She said, just curious, does your company utilize Report FYI when preparing your financials, or do you solely leverage Flexi Analysis? It's a very good question, actually.
Yeah, good question. Yes, we do use Report FYI. So when we do our monthly financials, we do use that report. We also use Report FYI as check balances, for example, our expense budgets. So we use that, and then preparing Flexi Analysis, when we use that, it's more to just make sure our GL detail is correct. But we do intend, we actually just started using a new software for our financial statements. So we do intend on using Flexi Analysis to create spreadsheets so we can just import them into the new software that we're using. So it's a new way to use Flexi Analysis. They offer a GL option with that software, but Flexi Analysis is extremely user-friendly. Really, all you need to do is know how to operate and create pivot tables. And I mean, I wasn't the greatest at it, but I learned, and it's definitely worth it, and it saves a lot of time.
Cool. Thank you. How long do you think it took you to create one of those templates? You showed 4 templates. Let's just say pick one.
Yeah, initially it took several hours, but once you do it, and then you just
yeah.
The pivot table, you just check things, and but yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't completely expert level at pivot tables, but I figured it out, and I actually learned a lot working with this. Yeah, initially hours, but after that, and then you have all of your other employees just use that template. So it's really just creating a template. And then after that, minutes to just drop into your spreadsheets, copy, the calculation or the VLOOKUP that we're using to just use it. So initially, I wouldn't say time consuming, but for one person to set it all up, it takes a few hours.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. But the time savings is worth it, right?
Absolutely worth it. And I mean, you never need to change it again. That's the extreme upside of it, is once you have it work the way you want it to work, you don't need to change it. And so it's extremely efficient.